There's a specific feeling that you get when you travel somewhere new. The air feels different, the culture is immediate, and you can sense that the place existed long before you got there. Most 3D platformers don't really care about that feeling. They treat their worlds like floating obstacle courses in a void. You beat the ice stage and you're magically teleported to the lava stage. But Super Mario Sunshine doesn't do that. It doesn't just give you an obstacle course. It gives you a place, a world that actually feels alive. The game is a masterclass in cohesion. From the physics of the water to the sight lines on the horizon, every single creative choice serves one singular vision: Isle Delfino. Today, I want to break down exactly how Super Mario Sunshine builds a world so convincing and gameplay so beautifully fluid that it stands out completely on its own as a brilliant piece of gaming history. In most games, the hub world is just a glorified menu, a safe room with a bunch of magical doors that lead to totally unrelated biomes. That is where Delfino Plaza stands out. Sure, it has those magical doors, but it isn't just a menu. When you're running around the plaza, you aren't just looking for the next level entrance, you're navigating a town with a functioning society. There's local businesses, fruit markets, a police force, and a transit system. But the real genius of Sunshine is how the rest of the game logically connects to this central hub. If you stand on the edge of the plaza and look out across the ocean, you can actually see Pinna Park, the island's amusement park, spinning on the horizon. Look up and the massive volcano Corona Mountain is always looming overhead. The game constantly reminds you exactly where you are in the physical space, and the levels themselves actually make sense for a vacation destination. Ricco Harbor isn't just the water level, it's the island's shipping port and industrial center. Serena Beach is the luxury hotel and casino, while Gelato Beach is a local public beach. Noki Bay is the historical secluded ruin. Every single location has a distinct economic or cultural purpose, so you aren't just cleaning the obstacle courses, but you're taking a tour of the island. But a cohesive world doesn't mean much if the way you interact with it feels disconnected. And that brings us to Flood. Normally, platformers are built entirely around the simple acts of running and jumping, but Sunshine shifts the focus to something completely different: fluid dynamics and momentum. In this game, Flood isn't just a gimmick slapped onto Mario's back, and it definitely isn't just a jetpack. Flood's mechanics are completely baked into the core design of the island, so that the two work together. And even more than that, Flood is a character that develops and connects with you throughout the game. The game encourages you to spray a path of water forward, dive straight into it at high speeds, and jump out to carry that momentum, and then use the hover nozzle to perfectly stick the landing. It's a system with an incredibly high skill ceiling. Mastering it changes the entire experience. Traditional platforming takes a back seat as you start flowing through the architecture. The mechanics demand more from the player, and in return they offer a sense of speed and fluidity that I haven't seen in any other 3D platformer. Now, speaking of moving through 3D space, a game can have great mechanics and a logical map, but it still needs a soul. Super Mario Sunshine finds its soul by committing to its tropical aesthetic, with absolutely zero hesitation. Every single visual and auditory choice reinforces the standard island vacation theme. Take the enemies, for example. Instead of throwing standard Goombas and Koopas at you right away, the game introduces native island creatures and paint-covered variants. The threats feel organic to the environment. Everything you interact with, from the fruit you carry to the piantas you talk to, belongs exactly where they are. This commitment extends directly into the visual identity of the maps themselves. The water looks very nice for its time, shimmering and rippling in a way that perfectly captures the inviting feeling of a pristine ocean. The blue skies, the deep shadows cast by the palm trees, and the shimmering heat haze effect makes the tropical sun feel genuinely hot. Even the core conflict is tied directly to the color palette. The graffiti and toxic goop covering the towns are neon and aggressive, meaning the simple act of cleaning constantly rewards the player by revealing the rich, sun-drenched textures underneath. And then there's the soundtrack. The music heavily features steel drums, acoustic guitars, and accordions to maintain a distinct, summery resort feel across the entire map. Even when the game strips away FLUDD for those incredibly stressful secret platforming levels, the audio direction steps in to ease the tension. The music switches to an upbeat a cappella version of the main theme. It intentionally keeps the atmosphere light and playful no matter how punishing the gameplay gets. The aesthetic is never once compromised. It is rare to see a game so fully committed to its vision. Most titles pull players in different directions, but Sunshine invites everyone to stay a while. It asks for patience as you learn the streets, master the moveset, and inhabit the world. When looking at the industry today, it's easy to find games that are bigger or more technically advanced, yet very few manage to create a space that feels this intentional. Isle Delfino is not just a collection of levels, it is a complete thought. And that is why the desire to go back to this game never really fades for me. It's not just about playing the game, it's about returning to a place that may even feel like home.